Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Always His podcast. Today, man, we have a very special guest today. No guest today, but we got Dan, we got Nate here, and we're gonna have some fun on today's podcast, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and if you guys notice right now, all of us, or most of us, we're wearing the Cody Gibson exclusive merch drop right now because we have one big announcement. If you guys didn't know, flashback a couple episodes, we had Cody Gibson on the podcast, Ultimate Fighter. And Dan, let them know why it's so special right now.
The boy Cody, he's going to be on the main card for this Saturday's huge UFC event. Obviously, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He's been grinding it out. If you watch the episode, he tells you a lot about his background story. The dude's been at it literally for years. Didn't give up on his dream. And now, dude, I mean, he's gonna be in the big leagues with the big dogs once again.
The craziest part too is if you connect the dots. If you go back to the episode, he talks about one of his first, I think it was his first UFC debut was against Aljamain Sterling, right? And this upcoming Saturday, it's Sean O'Malley versus Sterling. It's even like, holy shit, even more like full circle moment where he was full circle. Yeah, I mean, you got to picture. I mean, someone who battled back from different career setbacks and stuff, and came all the way back. One of the Ultimate Fighter, killed it and did that, and then to come all the way back from UFC debut now to coming back on the UFC card to like on the same exact person's card. Like, how crazy is that?
Dude, it's almost like a movie, dude. Like, it really is like a movie, like a sports movie that you watch. It kind of reminds me of like the Kurt Warner movie. Have you guys watched the Kurt Warner movie? I was gonna
say, yeah, literally, those like perfectly set up.
Yeah, dude. So, shout out to the bud Cody, man. If you haven't listened to it yet, go listen to a great episode. The dude's from Visalia. He's literally a school teacher. I don't know if he's still doing that.
Craziest part about it too, I don't know if we mentioned this in the actual episode, but he was actually my substitute teacher in high school. So in high school, I walked into class. I saw a UFC fighter like at the head of the classroom.
Was he fighting back then?
He was.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
So I remember actually I think it was the week he was facing Aljo. That same weekend, I went home to my buddy Alex's house. We had like a big barbecue at his house that weekend, and I remember watching him on TV. And
after he just
literally, like I think just within weeks of him being my substitute teacher, he was on TV.
That's
and crazy. I was like just flipping. I was like, oh my god, that's my teacher.
I know that guy.
Exactly. It was kind of like a fangirl moment, but it was super cool to kind of have that full circle moment as well, where he came on our podcast, came on it, killed it. And the coolest part about it too is a lot of times you see these guys on different TV shows, on TV, personalities and stuff, and sometimes they always say you never want to meet your hero because they're never the exact same person you would think, right? But the cool thing about Cody, right, is he's the exact same person. Whatever you see on camera is the exact same person you're going to get on in person, right? And super humble guy, super hardworking. I mean, his training schedule right after the podcast, he was going to another training session,
after
right?
He already trained too earlier that day. Yeah, it's crazy, man. He just doesn't stop. He has a high motor.
100%. So shout out to the boy Cody. Good luck this weekend, man. We're pulling for you. Always just pulling for you. And drop it in the chat, man. Drop W Cody in the chat. We're all pulling for it. Let's get it.
I want to stay on the UFC topic card because this card is pretty stacked. I'm a Sugar Sean O'Malley fan, dude. What are you guys' predictions for that card?
Who all's on there? Like other than
Sugar and Aljo. That's the main event.
Oh, okay, that's the main one that we know about now.
There's a lot of other bangers.
To be honest with you, I think Aljo's going to take it.
Really?
I'm a big O'Malley fan. Like I know I'm a huge O'Malley fan. I love what he's saying. Like the stuff he does outside and even inside the ring too. But I just think Aljo, his style of play is just so dominant in the opposite of O'Malley, where he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna stand with him. I think what he's gonna do is Cody talked a little bit about it too, right? Where his wrestling, he sticks to his game, and I think he's gonna get him down, wrestle him. He has a lot larger of a frame. That's just my opinion, man. I don't know.
Well, dude, to be fair though, Sugar Sean, dude, he did just win a jiu-jitsu event last weekend. Like it was a pretty big. It wasn't like a scrub event. Like it was a pretty good event.
Like last weekend.
Yeah, like
damn.
Last weekend, yeah. So he was like a legit I don't know if it was
like jiu-jitsu tournament, right?
Yeah,
way different, dude. That whole sport too, like of jiu-jitsu by itself, is no fucking joke.
It's been growing a lot. Too,
I think
dude.
It helps, bro. But if you, I mean,
there's nobody that like
just
Aljo,
started
though.
training that, but like if you have Aljo, who's been training his whole entire life for the majority of his career, training highlighting one part of his training in particular, that's tough to beat, bro. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I see that. I think for Sean, dude, I feel like he's gonna have to fucking, like you said, he's gonna have to keep it up as much as he can, because as soon as it goes to the ground, I mean, Sugar, he's good. He's been training a lot, but like you said, I don't know if he has it enough. I don't know if he has enough juice in him to fend off Aljo, dude, because he's a dog, bro. He gets you to the ground. Well, you can see his highlights, you know, even like Cody said it, that's his style. So we're going to see. I'm excited. I'm a Sugar guy. I'm hoping Sugar wins, but deep down in my heart, like
I'm pulling for him too. Like I'm definitely pulling for Sugar Sean. I think if he catches them with a couple hooks, I mean, definitely if they stand up, he definitely has a more higher of a chance. But
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
It's the ground, bro.
What do you guys think at home, man? Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think? Drop O'Malley or drop Aljamain or drop Aljo in the chat. Let us know who you guys are going for this weekend. Let us know who you guys are going for. And if you're conflicted like us, let us know who you think is going to win. So we're going for someone, but we think someone else is going to win. So it's one of those things.
Yes, sir. And, of course, on the topic of combat sports, right, one of the biggest ones that's been breaking the headlines literally all over the world has to be Elon Musk versus the boy Mark Zuckerberg, the robot. Now, first of all, before we even get into it, dude, it's been super crazy because, I don't know if you guys heard or read, but they've reached out to the what is it called over there in Italy? The not the ambassador, but the oh my gosh, what's the name of like their president? Whatever, it's not a president, anyways. Okay, I have a lot of flanking pages here. He reached out to the prime minister of Italy, and they actually locked down the Colosseum. So like the Roman Colosseum has been locked in as the official venue for this fight. Now it almost seems kind of crazy, right? Because there's two billionaires that are gonna go at it at the Roman Colosseum. I don't even know if this has ever been done before in the world of business, to be honest with you. And it's even crazier that it's like, you can argue like two nerds. Obviously, they're really successful nerds, but it's like two nerds going at it.
But they do train. But I think I saw today that they were canceling it.
Really?
Yeah. So I think Zuckerberg said that it's not going to be on anymore. Is Elon or was it Zuck? Bro, you know why though? Because Zuck, low-key, he fucking trains, bro.
Well, dude,
like Zuckerberg's not a fucking slouch when it comes to fighting. Like he actually does train that shit, bro.
Well, look at Elon's shape right now versus Zuck. So Elon was in way worse shape before. He's getting a lot better shape, in the past couple of months. But Zuck, dude, he's been
for years
doing jiu-jitsu, dude,
for a long
good
time
now. Yeah,
and
he's been in the circuit. I've seen some of his stories of my boy, the Style Bender. I'm a big fan of him. He was out there with him, hanging out, chilling, sparring a little bit. I don't know if they're legit sparring, but obviously he was with the guys. There was somebody else there too with him. I forget who he had.
There was one other one too, yeah.
I forget what the other guy was, but he's in the game. He's in the business. To me personally, dude, I think that if it really came down to it, dude, my boy Mark is eating Elon
all
a
day.
lot. Bro, he's smashing him.
But you know how I know too? I think I know for a fact because he hired the people from Twitter, came out with fucking threads before X dropped, took their color scheme. He basically said, I fucking dare you to do something. He's like, I dare you. He's like, I'm going to take that shit. We can handle that shit in the ring. Like, that's how I know he'd fuck him up, bro. That's how confident he is.
But if you look at threads right now, you brought up threads. I don't think, not to switch topics, but threads is not. I don't think it's as poppin' as most people thought it was going to be.
No, but it wasn't even that. It was like, you know how the Cold War was back in the day where you're like shooting shots? Like, that was his shot, bro. He hired on all those Twitter people and basically like, fuck you. I'm going to do exactly that.
I get it. I'm just saying, but if you look at Twitter right now or you look at X right now, X and Twitter is just killing threads.
Bro, 100%.
I mean, rightfully so, but I mean, that's the main thing.
And you know what? I think Threads broke a lot of the headlines early on, only because the conversion was so easy. Because it was almost like, I think if they would have kept a native to Instagram, like within the same app, I think it would have performed a lot better. But they made a separate app, and like even to me, the reason why I don't do it is because, bro, I'm not gonna open up another app.
When was the last time you guys got on Threads? Like, be real honest.
Bro, I got on when I signed up. I've never been back on it.
2 days ago.
No.
Like, honestly, I don't use it. Like, yeah, I thought I'd use it a lot more, but I mean,
the
idea of it.
You use your social media for entirely different things. Now, let's not go into that. Let's not go down that road here.
But no, I'm not using it as much as I would, but I also don't use Twitter either. So that whole like type of platform, I don't use in general. And X isn't even done too, because I think he wants to roll out like a super. What do they call like a super app? Which is they do. It's really big in like Asia and like other countries. So a super app is where you can like, bro, you can do anything through there. So like you're ordering your food through there. Like it's pretty much a one-stop shop. So you're ordering clothes through there. Walmart's basically through there.
Well, dude, that's why they were saying that he picked up the X. So also too, like, there's a U.S. steel company that has like the ticker on the stock market as like the $X. That's like their ticker. It's like I think it's literally called the U.S. Steel Company, and there was like a random bid for the company. So a lot of people are saying that it was Elon Musk trying to like, submitting the bid because it wasn't solicited. I mean, the company's not even for sale, so he just kind of sent them a bid, and they're saying that he's doing that to buy the ticker X, because right now the ticker's still, I think, Twitter's old ticker on the market.
So he just wants to get X all the way across. But he's been trying to do this for a long time.
And well, Elon has always been a really big advocate of crypto, right? So a lot of people are saying that, just like you're saying, the super app concept, like his whole game plan long term is to make X like a super app, and incorporate it with crypto so that you can buy your clothes, your food, and all everything that stuff through X. So I don't know. I think that's a little weird though. Like it's a little dangerous because I don't know, bro. It's just kind of weird, like to have like one app has that much access to your life. Like it has access to your finances, your friend group, and all this stuff. And it's just, but I mean, Twitter's get hacked all the time, bro. Like, where's the security on that? You know what I mean?
But the thing too is, so in like AliExpress was kind of one of those things too. In other countries though, they're already doing it. They're already super popular. So I think they said in like 1/3 of the world's super apps, like everybody has them. So if you live in a certain region, you have that app no matter what. Everybody uses it.
So also too though, like in Asia and a lot of the stuff though, they've been like really kind of getting rid of like their paper currency, right? Kind of on the topic of crypto, but they've been going all digital. Now to me, the thing. Like I guess like the big kind of argument, which I agree with the whole crypto thing is like, well, you kind of lose power over your money, right? So you have like other like more like socialist countries where basically like if you don't abide by what the state wants you to do or like you behave a certain way, well now, I mean, right now they can't do shit because you have cash, you know what I mean? So you can still go out and do whatever you got to do. But, you know, like in like really like communist countries, for example, if you kind of go against the flow, so to speak, well, dude, they can just turn off your fucking user ID, right? And then you can't spend any of your money, or they like they pull your shit, you know, and you're like, well, you can't function in society because of your little fucking app. So I think it's a double-edged sword. I don't know, bro. To me, that whole thing, it's a cool concept, but for me, I'm not into it yet, dude.
Too much power, huh?
Too much power.
But I mean, it is working though in other countries. But I agree, that's just that double-edged sword of it. It's like, do we really want to go that route? And do we trust Elon enough to do that shit, bro? Like, that's my thing.
Dude, that's a good question. Do you trust Elon? Me?
Do you drop below if you trust Elon?
Like Mark Zuckerberg, bro, I don't trust him. By the way, I think his PR team has done a fucking great job in changing his image. Like whatever PR firm he hired, bro, they've been killing it, right? Like everybody like likes him now. He's like buff. He looks good. He's hanging out with like these athletes. Like, you know, he's kind of like a little bit positive light. But don't forget, dude, he look at don't forget about the positions he had, dude, in Congress. You know, that dude looked like a fucking robot when he was getting grilled, right? About a
this is the clone. This is definitely the clone, bro.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, I don't know.
It was definitely controversial. A big controversial topic. And on the topic of controversy, have you guys seen the whole controversy about FouseyTube and how he's been streaming a lot 24/7? Have you guys
boy Fousey? Oh my god, this guy just fucking fucks up nonstop.
But have you really watched it though,
bro? I've been So
but have you watched like more than like really genuinely watched more than one?
So have you tuned on his stream live?
No.
Okay, so let me break it down. Okay, let me break it down. So there's two different sides of it. Okay, I get both sides. People at home, they're probably gonna think the exact. I hope they think the exact same way. But like one side of it is, yeah, he's kind of a nutcase a little bit. Some of the shit he says, some of the stuff he says on stream, some of the stuff he's been saying, kind of a nutcase where it's kind of weird, kind of off the rockers a little bit, right? What I get what you're saying. Number two, the business side of it, we were looking at it quite a bit, especially on the way here. The business side of it is so genius. Have you guys ever seen The Truman Show?
The movie?
Yeah.
With Jim Carrey?
Yeah. Yes.
So Truman Show, right? The Truman Show, the whole premise of it was people were watching his life and they got to see the outside look. Mm-hmm. He's doing the exact same thing, The Truman Show, but FouseyTube style on Kick platform streaming 24/7.
But did you see? Okay, so he was at the airport or whatever. This girl talked about. I don't know if she said she had like I guess she was like in sex work or something like that before. And then literally like the next 20 minutes, like, guys, I just had sex.
So but you have to watch the whole thing. So like if you actually watch the clip, he went up to her after he met her on the plane, went up to her after, was running game. Yeah, she told him a little about the sex work, different stuff. There was like a cult or something like that. And then long story short, at the end, he did say on his stream, was like, yeah, I just smashed or whatever it is, right? I just joined the Mile High Club. But
yeah.
But after that, he did say he was messing around. He was just joking. He apologized for it. He regretted it. And then I feel like the whole internet canceled him for that. You know, it's just, but if you think about it, if you really think about it, if I were to put a camera on you guys for 24/7, you can't tell me there's not one thing you would do with that the whole day that's going to make you controversial.
But my thing is this. If you know she had an issue with sex work, right, and you know that it was an issue in her life, are you going to pop back on like a fucking like 16-year-old that just lost his virginity? Like, oh, I just joined the Mile High Club. Like, bro, what the fuck?
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
then
he was definitely
he was crying too, wasn't he? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. And like, Fousey always does a really good job at coming back and then fucking it up again.
He does. 100%.
And that's kind of like his like revolving door for him. You know what I mean?
You know what? I do. I see the point you're making. But also too, they're like whether Fousey, he's like whatever. He's super controversial, right? I don't know if it's calculated or not. I mean, I don't know if it's like he. I mean, he is off. He's off, bro. He's
some of the stuff he says, bro, is just off the wall. Where I'm like, you really question, is he okay? That's
no,
me.
but that's what everybody. That's what I'm saying.
Like
It's
respectfully,
so much,
respectfully though, right? I mean,
anybody else could do this, but
no,
don't make him do the 24-hour stream.
But the one thing though that we're literally talking about it because I hadn't really watched them live, dude. So I've seen a shit ton of clips. Like I've seen like the 10, 15-minute clips, dude. Like little clips on YouTube. I've seen the 1-2 minute clips on TikTok, whatever. So I finally watched his live today. He's like, bro, have you watched it? I'm like, bro, I haven't fucking watched it. So first of all, he switched over to Cake. Got a fucking fat ass deal, right? Like God knows how big it is.
That's controversy as well.
And that is a controversy as well. And he switched over, and I was like, well, dude, like, because he keeps hearing, he was telling me about it. He's been telling me about it for a couple of days. I keep hearing about it. Like, he's on fucking TikTok. Like, you see the clips. Like, everybody knows who he is, right? And I watched his live, dude. And his live, he's literally at the gym. He's fucking chilling, working out, not doing anything special. Like, he actually goes and takes a piss. He has a mic on, so you hear the fucking stream. Like, the stream of piss.
Is it
you know
strong,
though? Well, it depends on you categorize it strong, bro. But it did sound pretty firm. Anyways, and you hear it, dude. I'm like, dude, it's kind of weird. Like, we were watching on the way here, and I was just caught myself watching it, and it really is like the Truman Show, because like you're watching the dude live. Like, he's not. I mean, he does say some stuff. He talks to himself, and like he does some awful.
But he records himself sleeping. Like, he doesn't turn it off. Like, when he's sleeping, like, you can turn it on 2:00 in the morning. This guy's like crashed out, catching some Z's.
I mean, that is dope.
And he's sleeping.
And you can tune in, dude.
Super cool.
And the thing about it though, like, so he said it. He was telling me like, and I've seen the clips of him, so I can say it, right? Like, so you have like Aiden has done the crazy streams. They're in their house, right? Like the 30-day streams. Kai has done the same thing, but they're in their house. And there's some people that will go out into the world and they'll do it. You know, they'll do like the in-life stream, the IRL streams for like a day, maybe a few hours. But dude, nobody's ever done what he's doing. You know what I mean? And it's so crazy because if you think about it, dude, you go live, you essentially have your own TV show. You don't have to worry about networks. Sure. You don't have to worry about like all that bullshit. You have your own TV show, and he's doing it, right? And he's only been doing it before, you said like 30 days? Dude, 30 days, and because of his commitment to go live every single day, he's already changed his life like tremendously financially because of that. And he knows nobody else is like, he knows nobody else is crazy enough to do it. And I mean, dude, to make it at a high level and no matter in what industry, bro, I feel like you got to be off the rockers, like in some sort of form. Like, you got to fucking believe in some crazy shit. And he does. And, I mean, his deal is worth, people say like 50 mil, 100 mil, 30 mil. I've heard a lot of different numbers, but whatever the number is, dude, it's a shit ton of money for the dude just walking around going live. So,
but that brings me to the next point is like, do you guys really think that streaming 24/7 is viable long-term, right? I mean, or you think he's going to keep it up or you think he's going to stop it?
Well, dude, I mean, it's kind of like the Truman Show, right? Because, like, I mean, he figured out he was in a show eventually, right? But at first he didn't really get it. And, I mean, dude, the guy was going to get married and shit like that, you know? So I think the market is always going to be there. People are always going to watch, you know? People are always going to watch. I think for me, if I was doing it, I mean, I already kind of thinking, I'm like, dude, you do seasons, you know? Maybe for 1 year, you stream 2-3 months at a time. You lay off maybe a couple. Because it's a mindfuck, bro. To be on the internet 24/7.
That is crazy.
Bro.
You have to constantly think. Bro. You have to constantly be conscious of what you're doing, what you're saying. To an extent, I mean, you could just be like, whatever the fuck. Yeah. But, though, you know, I mean, is it really feasible for someone to do that 24/7?
But he's doing it. And then people even ask him, though, but like you mentioned, is it feasible? People even ask him. He was on a stream with Aiden Ross, and Aiden Ross was telling him, like, hey, do you think this is, like, healthy for you? Not only can you do it, because Fuzi was like, yeah, I can do it 100%. He's like, of course I can do it. But he's like, not only can you do it, but do you think it's healthy for you? You think it's going to affect your long-term mental health in the long-term game? And Fuzi was like, no, I got it.
He's like the last person for mental shit, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you can tell, but when you see it, I think if you look back from when he was first going live to now, it's a little bit of, like, you can tell when someone's been on camera too long, I think. But like you said, Fuzi's really good at coming back, getting back on the scene, and then just going super crazy off the wall.
Well, dude, and also, too, though, I think it's really comparable to, like, Jersey Shore, bro, because if you think about Jersey Shore, like, okay, they weren't live, but they had cameras on them 24/7. Like, at the house, bro, like the rooms where they slept in, they were being recorded. So, like, I mean, yeah, obviously they would smash whatever, you know what I mean, and it would get cut out from the show. But, dude, they had the cameras 24/7 on them. True. Obviously, the post-production is different, so you only saw certain portions of it. But they didn't know what was going to be on there or not. You know, they had cameras on them 24/7. They did it for seasons. I mean, it fucked some of them up. You know what I mean? Like, if you go back in time now, it fucked some of them up. Like, mentally, like, it was straining. But, I mean, they did it, and they cashed out, you know, so.
And the important thing to know, too, is if you look at what he's been streaming on, right? He started off on Twitch. He got banned twice on Twitch for doing different stuff. And then now he's on Kick. And so that brings up the next question of, we talked about it before, about the big battle between Kick versus Twitch. Twitch has been the powerhouse for so long, and everyone feels like to stream you have to go on Kick, or have to go on Twitch. But if you look at it now, there's a lot of people going on Kick, and I think arguably because of Aiden Ross, all the stuff he's doing there.
What? Yeah,
heavy hitters went on Kick.
I think a lot of people know that Twitch is dying right now. And it's like, I watch a lot of shows too on like YouTube where people bring up, like what we're doing right now, how we talk about current topics. A lot of people are noticing that Twitch is going down, bro. You know what I mean? So I think it's very noticeable, and I think a lot of people are going to start making that jump. So I think there is going to be a huge
Well, if you look
shift.
at the woke culture, right? The whole woke culture now for anything, I feel like in business and life and in anything, every single industry has a woke culture. Well, eventually they wake up and they're like, hey, well, why is there so many restrictions on XYZ, right? And I feel like with Twitch and streaming, it's been such a new platform where I feel like there hasn't been a lot of that. But now there's been a lot of more streamers. There's so much more people streaming where they're kind of starting to catch on like, why can't I say this? Why can't I do this on stream? Like, this is literally my independent contracting business. Why can't I do what I want to do?
Yep.
And so I feel like that's why it opened up such a huge way for Aiden, for all the other streamers on Kick, and it's crazy what they're doing over there.
Bro, Kick has, dude, honestly, I was really like skeptical at first. I was like, man, I don't know if they're really going to pop, bro. But it was so weird because as Kick came out and said, hey, like, you can say what the fuck you want to do with it. You're like, Fousey, I was watching him live. He was like hitting his vape and shit, bro. Twitch, you would have got banned like instantly. You know what I mean? So I was like, dude, that's so crazy because I never, to be honest with you, I never really expected Kick to like really stick. I thought it was going to be kind of like this weird kind of area where like just weird people go to, you know? But now it's got like some of the heavy hitters. And the reason why is because there's a little more of a freedom element to it compared to Twitch. Twitch is just like, it's so weird, bro, because it's like you said, it's a platform. You're streaming your own stuff, but you have to abide by all these weird-ass rules, bro.
There's literally hot tub streams where you have chicks and different stuff that have their...
That's a hypocrisy.
There's so much stuff out, right, where it's like, how is that okay? But some of the stuff that the other streamers have got banned for, how is that not okay?
Well, it's kind of like the same thing with Instagram and X, right? On X, bro, you can watch fucking anything on there, bro. Like, literally anything on there. Versus, Instagram, you say, like... a bad word, a cuss word, and
what
it's
can
like,
you watch on there?
Against community fucking standards.
What's some stuff you can watch on X?
Some X-rated things, I assume, from what I've been told. So, I'm pretty sure it's suitable. I'm pretty sure it's suitable.
You don't sound like you're telling that like from the second story. You sound like you're telling that from experience. I don't know. We'll let the chat. We'll let the people decide how we're watching.
But you know what I mean. But I feel like, especially in America, where we're very like First Amendment, you should be able to say whatever you want. We should be able to say whatever the fuck we want. We shouldn't be able to be like, even on YouTube, where I know if you like cuss too much, it'll literally not push it in the algorithm where it's like you should be able to say whatever you want to say. Yep. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be scared to like be true to yourself and be transparent.
And that's where, like you said, that's where Kick comes in, and they've been coming in. And I feel like if you look at some of the other, they're growing huge. And if you look at some of the other people who have been on YouTube or been on Twitch before, I can only imagine what they would be like on Kick, because they'd be whatever they were before times 10. Kind of like if you look at the Paul brothers right now, right?
Yes.
The Paul brothers right now, and that's besides the point. Like the stuff they would do on Kick would be crazy. But what I really want to get into on the Paul brothers is, did you guys see the whole interview where they were on the podcast? Jake Paul was on Logan Paul's podcast, and it was super awkward. Like if you guys ever had siblings, if you guys have ever had siblings at home, there's always like a friendly competition, right? There's always a friendly competition.
Or not so friendly sometimes.
Or not friendly. But then I feel like there is...
You are. You know the fuck you are.
You got to rewind a couple episodes to Briss a little bit. But it's supposed to be friendly, right? But I feel like there is times where it gets a little too competitive, where I feel like it's not so friendly, where it's a little bit crossing line. And I think if you look at the Logan Paul with Jake Paul interview, I think it crossed the line what Logan Paul did with Jake Paul. What do you guys think?
Dude, okay, well, first of all, Nate, did you watch it?
Did not. Fill me in. Let's hear this.
Okay, so they're in the show, right? They're in the podcast, whatever. And essentially, Logan was like telling Jake shit. He was like, bro, like, what the fuck? Or, Logan, bro, like, what the hell? Security said that I can't come in wearing Prime or with the Prime in my hand or anything like that. Like, bro, like, it's my company. I'm your brother. Like, why can't I promote it at your event? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then Jake was like, well, bro, I have another sponsor, and that's a conflict of interest. Like, why would you do that? Like, of course you can't do it, bro. It's like a conflict of interest. Mm-hmm. So Logan was like, well, bro, but I'm your brother.
And he was talking about, just for context, he was talking about the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz fight.
Yes. So it was at the Jake Paul versus Diaz fight where he went to go watch him. So Jake went to go.
Okay.
Yeah, Logan went to watch Jake. So Logan, when he was going into the stands, obviously we all know him, and everybody that has a business, like you try to fucking. You're on the spotlight, so you're gonna use it to promote whatever brands you have a stake in. So he was trying to promote Prime, but at the event, the venue and security at the venue were like, no, bro, you can't do it. Like, you can't push Prime. If you push Prime, we're going to have to kick you out.
And the craziest thing is he literally flew all the way from his WWE event on a private jet, flew all the way over. Immediately after to go to Jake Paul's event. And obviously he primed, like Danny was saying, primes his main bread and butter brand that he's building. That's his main thing. And the fact that he wasn't able to bring it in, where they specifically told him, Logan, if you bring anything with Prime, if you're wearing a Prime bottle, if you're wearing a Prime hat, you will literally get escorted out of your brother's event. And then him on the podcast, he was like, bro, like Danny was saying, like, bro, what do you mean? I'm your brother. How are you going to not let me promote my brand?
But business and business, right? Like we hear it. Business.
I'm on Jake's side.
I'm on Jake's side.
I want to put that out there.
I'm like, Logan, if you fucking like, bro, come on now. Like, I'm not going to, like, let's say it roles reverse. That's like fucking Jake having some shit that was like, you know what I'm saying? The opposite of that. Why would you promote that shit?
Dude, and that, Jake, one of the things that he mentioned to him, which if you kept up with him or you watch him, like especially business wise, it's true. Jake was telling Logan, like, bro, you play both sides of the fence. Like when it's convenient for you, you want to play the brother card. When it's not, like you don't. You know what I mean? You play the business card, like, bro, it's a business. Sorry, I can't help you. Business is business.
See, Jake is always real too.
Yes, and so Logan was like, so he was trying. He does, you know, he was trying to pull that brother card, and then Logan tried to make a point where like, well, bro, we let you promote your stuff at our event. And then Jake was like, well, yeah, bro, it's because you and the company you work with are they're idiots. Like, why would you do that, bro? Like, that's stupid.
Well, hey, like
I'm going to take advantage of it, bro. I'm going to take advantage of it, but yours are stupid. Like, bro, like, obviously for us, our contracts that we have a lot of clauses, and we cover every single base, bro. We do good business. We're a smart business. So if you guys didn't do that, bro, I mean, that's on you, bro. Like, if you would have done it, he's like, I would have followed the rules, bro, but you didn't. You know what I mean? So that's on you.
But the thing is on that, one of the biggest things we didn't really mention yet so far was that the whole reason why Jake Paul doesn't want him to promote Prime is because Logan's partnered with KSI, his arch nemesis, on Prime. So that's the whole reason why Jake was like, bro, why would I let you come in and promote something that some guy who I absolutely hate, KSI, is partnered with you? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then that's when Logan tried to play the brother card where he's like, bro, I'm your brother. He's like, well, yeah, you're my brother, but if you're so much my brother, why'd you partner with my enemy on a billion-dollar brand that you're trying to build? That doesn't make any sense.
Damn, that's funny. But that shows you kind of true, like, where it always goes back to Logan being kind of like wishy-washy. Like, he'll change his morals and what he believes in to kind of be accepted by whatever he believes in at the time. You know what I mean? So I think Jake is opposite of that, where he's just real as fuck all the time.
It kind of showed Logan's true colors too. Whenever he was saying that, like, Jake, you're not going to do the rematch with Tommy. Like, that's mine. Like, I already let you have your shine. It's my turn to shine now. And Jake was like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, you're doing WWE, you're conquering this industry, I'm conquering this industry. Why are you trying to conquer both and be so greedy with it where you're now trying to come over here and just steal my thunder? So I mean, I don't know. As a brother,
it was like that big brother, little brother shit for sure. If you like have brothers and you have an older brother, or you're the younger brother, like, you know, there's like that rivalry, dude. Like it gets ugly sometimes, you know. But also too though, Logan. Do you have another thing for Logan for the crypto?
I do. So the craziest part about this is obviously on that same podcast. Last thing we'll say on the podcast, because we're on All Aces podcast, is that one of the things they broke news there was Logan Paul is supposed to be fighting Dylan Dennis, it's supposed to be a big fight. Dylan Dennis is the guy notorious for running his mouth to every single influencer trying to get on any card he can, right? And one of the biggest things he did recently was Logan Paul was going to make a huge bet of $1 million to Dylan Dennis on the fight of $1 million. And then he got so much hate, so much backlash, because if you guys remember, back when NFTs were popping, Logan Paul dropped a big NFT and it flopped.
The fake ass one, right?
It flopped, fake, scam.
The zoo one or whatever the fuck.
Crypto zoo?
Whatever,
that weird shit.
Whatever you want to call it. People say at home, either it's scammed, flopped. It didn't work out. And so the biggest thing was they were saying that he can pay $1 million to a bet, but he can't pay his supporters back. He can't pay the people back that he owes money to.
Bro, again, back to fucking Logan flip-flopping. You know what I'm saying? Like, he tries to play, like, again, like, he tries to play the brother card, or he'll try to play this card, or he'll be the victim card. Like, he tries to do whatever it takes to kind of appease everybody and make himself seem good, even though he's doing the most dirt out of everybody.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the crypto zoo, there was a YouTuber, dude. What's the name of the YouTuber? Coffeezilla?
That called him out, huh?
Coffeezilla, dude.
And called out every connection and shit.
He made a huge video on it.
I mean, to me, pretty obvious after the research. It was a rug pull, you know. I mean, obviously there was a couple loose ends, but you know, ultimately it looks like it was never meant for success. It was more of a rug pull type of deal. And you know, whatever. I'm not in the industry. I'm not in the game, so I don't know how it works. But obviously, we've seen other people have successful projects. I mean, right now crypto's down bad overall, you know. So if you're a crypto holder, you're holding your diamond handing right now, bro.
I thought it's been going more bullish recently, like in the past month or two.
Well, it depends on which coin.
Well, the NFT though, the NFT game, like, Dude, even the API club, like the Bored Ape club, whatever, dude, they're like down bad right now.
Oh, NFTs for sure, yeah. But I think Bitcoin's starting to go back up, and then Ethereum too a little bit. Okay, you guys want? Okay, so speaking of contracts and families, have you guys heard about the Blind Side and what's going on with that?
Whoa,
The story of the Blind Side, bro.
Dude, I was so fucking shocked when I read that. Because
what the fuck,
bro? Okay, yes, dude. Because obviously the Blind Side. So if you remember the Blind Side, Michael Oher,
Sandra Bullock killed it. Sandra Bullock, 10 out of 10.
Great movie. It was a great fucking movie. Great, heartfelt as fuck.
Yes,
like the white family adopts the black kid. He goes to the NFL. It's so fucking sweet.
Yes,
and we still get fucked over again,
dude. And it was so crazy because like you had that like, damn, that's so real. Like that was such a cool story. Badass come up. Michael Oher playing in the NFL, baller, killed it. And then Oscar, it was an Oscar-winning film, yes.
Great fucking movie. I cried a little bit. I cried a little bit.
Right, it was emotional. And dude, to find out that it was all fucking fake, I mean, it kind of did happen like the way the movie portrays it, but
behind the scenes,
read fucking contracts. The characters behind it and the motives behind it wasn't as fairy tale as Disney portrayed it.
Yeah, it wasn't like as like lovey-dovey, like let's do something.
Like he wasn't even adopted, right?
No, so he just signed over, like basically this signed, I forget what the legal term is.
Got Britney Spears.
Yes.
Got Britney Spears, right?
That's Britney Spears.
Like what happened with her dad. Although I think she should go back to being in that, but anyways.
Yes. So basically they signed over, like, he signed, like they forced them, or like tricked them, I should say, not forced them, they tricked them to signing paperwork that basically handed them the conservation rights for all his stuff. So they like benefited. They got a huge bag off of the movie and all the other stuff that came along with it, right? So it was kind of like a smart scam business move type of deal. You know what I mean? They scammed the shit out of them. That's
can't be too smart if they fucking got caught up with it.
Yes, and you know, and who knows, dude? I wonder how long he's been holding that back for, because obviously he's had the money to pull, you know, put the lawsuit in and handle the legal fees and all that stuff. So I wonder what happened that finally made him go, or if he barely found out. Perhaps, I don't know how that happened. But yeah, dude. Hopefully he gets compensated, because
so fucked up,
bro.
though.
That's crazy. Yeah. So essentially,
so fucked up.
So essentially, the big issue is that you know, Michael Oher and that family. I forget the name of the family, but Michael Oher and the name of the family, right? So they adopted him, and you will think that Michael Oher got compensated accordingly, right? Because without him, the story doesn't even exist. So you would think that he would get cashed out for that deal, right? Well, he didn't, and he never has. So what ended up happening was that the family basically tricked him to signing certain documents that made them the beneficiaries of most of that bag, and that's what he's gonna take him to court for, right? So he's basically alleging that, hey, it was all fake. I signed some shit without even knowing what it was. This is not fair, and I want to get reimbursed for all that money, because realistically, without me, there is no story, right?
Here's the thing, though, on the other side of it. Do you think that he would still have the same argument, or he'd still be bringing up the same thing if had his NFL career really took off and he's still been playing, or he still really got the bag? You think he would even care about that?
Well, you know, honestly, for me, I would. Even if I was like a Hall of Famer lineman, I would, because like, yeah, you know, it's yeah, the money, whatever, is cool. But the way they went about making the money wasn't fair. So I would still try to get compensated for that. The principle of it, correct.
Are they taking his royalties, or how is that working? I thought they took the money from everything too.
So exactly. So basically, holding conservation rights means like you basically pimping that person, and like you're like you make the money, not them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like
you choose what happens, basically.
Exactly.
You make the decision.
Yeah. So it wasn't like he acted like his own party. Like they acted on his behalf and basically seal the deals on his behalf without him really knowing what was going on, or like exactly how much money he has. Because in the letter, like in the letter for the legal case, he's asking the court to have the family reveal the amount of funds that they've generated from his likeness, from the movie and all that stuff, because he doesn't even know how much money it's been. So he just wants to get his fair share. So yeah, he was like blindsided.
No pun intended, huh?
So on the topic, staying on the topic of contracts, what do you guys think of Neymar's huge record-breaking contract with the Saudi club? What do you guys think of that?
Bro, it's time, dude. Look, honestly, the Saudis, bro, they're coming in. They're paying out big backs to all these athletes.
They got the money.
They got the money, bro. They got the money. But honestly, like, what's the what I'm really kind of wondering myself is what's like the motive? Like, why are the Saudis just cashing out this gigantic proportions of money?
I think it's status. I think it's nothing else but status. Why when people have money, I think whenever you get to a certain level with money, it doesn't mean anything. Like your Bugattis, your Lamborghinis, it doesn't mean anything anymore. What means something is your name. What means something is your legacy that you leave. So I feel like the Saudis right now, the reason why they're cashing out, this is a $300 million guaranteed deal. With it can go up towards a $400 million.
And it has like bonus for every time he posts on social media about the Saudi League and all that stuff. Like he's getting like a bag and a half, bro.
Different bonuses, exactly. And I feel like all that is all a part of leaving their legacy, leaving the mark, knowing that whenever you think of the Saudis, it's no more of whatever you thought before. Now what it is what do you think of when I say Saudi club right now?
Bro, when I see Saudis now, like, you know, it used to be like, or it's true. I mean, they're rebranding, dude. I used to think of like oil war, Dubai. Now it's like Dubai. Mbappe.
Now I just think of money. I just think of cashing out the bag, money. You have Live Golf.
Bro,
Live Golf was another big one.
So much money to do it, though. That's what's crazy. And they paid a crybaby out, bro. I've never been a Neymar fan, but whatever.
Neymar's good, bro. Neymar's my money. But yeah, you know, I think you're right because I think it's just about to. It's kind of like the pride in their own, like their name. You know what I mean? Because obviously to have like the best of the best, it's like a flex. You know, it's like the people that own like the racehorses. It's a flex to have them. Like
CR7's over there too, right?
Cristiano's out there.
He's still over there in that league too.
Benzema's out there. They keep signing guys. You know, so crazy. There was a guy, I forget the name of the player. But dude, one of the fans gifted him a Rolex. So like, you know, here in the U.S., you might get jumped if you come out the wrong tunnel. But over there, you know, you have this guy, like the Saudi guy, like I think it was Fabinho, or it might not be Fabinho, but I think it was. He comes out of the tunnel. He just recently went over there too on like a Neymar type deal. And the fan, dude, he's out there. He like, he talks to him, right? And he like motions for the wrist, and he like just like clasps on the Rolex on his wrist.
Bro, I'm gonna start practicing soccer, bro. I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna get as good as I can.
We're in the wrong sport, bro.
As soon as I can, bro. Like God.
So yeah, dude, over there the Saudis, bro, they're cashing out. Bro, I'm not surprised if they're gonna start throwing NFL league and just buy out the NFL pretty soon, bro.
Well, I feel like that's one of the only sports they haven't touched yet, right? Is the NFL.
Yeah, they have golf,
NFL,
soccer,
UFC. They haven't touched UFC yet.
Dude, they're not going to.
They have a little bit because the UFC went to Abu Dhabi, so I'm lying with that. Okay,
but they're tapping out there. Well, even some big fights recently happened in Dubai and Abu Dhabi too. No, like boxing.
The end of this year.
Yeah.
The end of this year, there's with Charles Oliveira and what's his name? How do you say it?
Makachev.
Well, yeah, the champion. They're going to be going over there and fighting over there, so it's going to be a huge bag. It's huge. One of the biggest cards of the year. So.
Shout out to the Saudis, baby. They're cashing out.
They're cashing out, man. And lastly, on the topic, because I know we're kind of running short on time here, on the last topic of cashing out, did you guys watch the Johnny Manziel, the Money Manziel interview? What do you guys think of that?
You watch it?
Have not seen it yet.
Nate,
I know.
Did you guys watch it?
Nate, next time you come on the podcast and you didn't watch the documentary,
you need to be cultured,
bro.
You need to be cultured, bro.
Johnny Manziel's cultured?
Bro, no, but
he's been cultured, bro. What do you mean?
Bro, he was culture, bro.
He was, and always will be culture.
Johnny football, bro.
Man,
dude, honestly, bro, I remember. Well, that was back in the day when NCAA was still a game, and bro, you went with A&M because of him.
Well, the one thing everybody's saying too is like he pretty much admitted to like taking deals and stuff like that too. But look they didn't take his Heisman, but everybody's talking about Reggie Bush getting his Heisman taken.
Well, you should have watched the documentary because if you watched it, you would know that whatever they said in there that they literally painted a narrative that his family was rich. So whenever they talked about not taking his Heisman, the reason why was because they couldn't prove that he took that money. They had a bunch of different allegations and other stuff they had going on. But one of the biggest things was they created this whole narrative that Johnny Manziel's family came from oil money or different stuff.
Because I thought he was rich too till this.
Well, bro, so I did too. So the whole thing was like his best friend at the time. He played football with him. You know, his best friend at the time. I don't think he played college football with him, but he met him in high school football, and he just, you know, they were buddies. So he basically became like his like suit, like he became his manager by default. You know what I mean? So he would be in charge of like setting up like the signing sessions and all that stuff. So at the time when Johnny was really popping, if you remember, he popped out freshman year.
Johnny football.
Yeah, Johnny football. So Texas A&M had a rule where freshmen could not talk to the press. So that was like the perfect opportunity for his best friend to come in there and create a narrative that his family came from oil money. Because, I mean, the dude was out there. It was like prime Instagram flex era, bro. Flex era. So he was out there flying private. He was a fucking Drake. He was like with all these celebrities. And people are like, yo, like, how's this college kid, like, just balling out?
This was before
driving
the NIL deals. So this was before anyone can make money.
On himself with the documentary, though, right?
Well, he didn't dry snitch. He snitched on himself.
That's what I'm saying. But that's why everybody's saying that he should get his Heisman taken, though. Because he did snitch on himself.
So you look at Johnny Manziel. Why in the world is Texas A&M, who he put 1,000% on the map, going to be able to make hundreds of millions of dollars? And Johnny Manziel is like, you can't make anything.
Because who was going to Texas A&M at that time, bro? Come on.
Exactly.
And Texas A&M too. Also, too, like in the documentary, talk about how they had just joined the SEC, and like, dude, people are like, well, do they belong? Do they not belong? And then he comes in there and just slings it against Bama, bro. And then they're just like, yeah, A&M belongs there. I mean, he had Mike Evans. He had a lot of great players.
Shout out Mike Evans.
Shout out my boy Mike Evans, baby. Fantasy's coming. I got
bro,
you.
1,000 yards every season. Crazy. 1,000 yards every season.
Honestly, he kind of let me down last season, but hey,
he's no Debo Samuel, but I mean,
you better quit
that's here not there.
Anyways, so yeah, dude. But to me, I really appreciated that Johnny Manziel, bro, kept it a buck. Because oftentimes, dude, you have a lot of these other quarterbacks or superstars that they don't keep it a buck, bro. Like, they still kind of have this narrative or try to, like, talk around it. But he was just like, yeah, bro, I mean, I fucked up. It was what it was. I just, by the time I got to the NFL, I had already lived, like, the super life. Like, I didn't really give a shit anymore, I was, like, over it. I was hooked on drugs, like. That was my life, dude. And so it was really cool, bro. I mean, obviously kind of like a sad story because he was super talented, but crazy insight, bro, into like the whole madness, bro. Because I was in high school when he was popping, bro.
Yeah.
And it was just nuts, bro, to watch him because he was really balling out out there. Like it was.
Do you guys ever think he regrets all the stuff he did, all the shenanigans, all the other crazy stuff he did?
I don't think so. I don't think he regrets it, dude. And the reason why I say I don't think he regrets it is because I feel like he lived such a dope life. Like he literally lived a life. Well, minus the drugs, obviously, but he lived a life like a lot of like men think about. He was with celebrities. He was
Cars,
he was that dude on campus. It got so bad in the doc. They say it got so bad where he couldn't even like go to class, bro, because he would just get like stampeded, dude. With like just people were like just fucking crazy over him. Obviously, I mean, chicks, he was probably with like whatever chick he wanted at that point. He was a big man on campus, rolling around with superstars. National media on you, like what else could you want, And I think obviously it did get to his head, and he didn't know how to deal with it. And by the time he got to the NFL, he got cashed out, made his money, left, and now he's dealing with the consequences. But I don't think he regrets it.
It's crazy, man. I mean, you deal with the consequences, and the crazy part about it is in the documentary, whenever they asked him, he said he wanted to get out. He didn't want to be doing football anymore. He was saying that whenever he was on the Cleveland Browns, he was almost trying to do stuff where he didn't want to be on the team. Like, he wanted to get kicked out. So
can't blame him, bro. Especially for the Browns.
I mean, you're making all that money. There's consequences. I mean, I guess you deal with the consequences. But last topic of the day, dealing with consequences. Have you guys heard the stuff of Lizzo getting canceled? Have you guys heard about that stuff?
Lizzo what?
Lizzo.
She got
big
what?
girl.
Oh, got canceled.
Lizzo's getting canceled. Nate, tell us about it.
I know you know about this one.
Bro, why do I got to know about this? I was eating chicken a minute ago.
We'll leave it up to chat. We'll leave it up to the listeners and the chat to figure that one out.
So from what I've heard is Lizzo was she was like fat shaming and like just treating her, treating her own, like, was her backstage dancers? Backup dancers. Sexually harassing, but then she was also like fat shaming.
It was just verbally abusing
which was
them, right?
crazy, bro. Like, yeah, verbally abusing, basically.
So it was like Dumbo roasting on somebody about their ears, right? That's kind of what the deal was. She's getting dropped from the Super Bowl?
Dropped already? Yeah, bro. Like, it's crazy. There's a lot of backlash.
That's so crazy.
Cancel culture, bro. It's crazy.
Well, hey, I mean, I don't want to say she deserved it, but I mean, she kind of did though. But I feel like, do you think every artist does that?
Probably not, bro. I feel like there's still humble people in there, but like, if you're Lizzo, come on.
You have no room to talk, huh? I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. You don't.
That 100%.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Tom Brady gets in your face and yells at you. Well, the dude's a baller, so you got to shut up and listen to him, But Lizzo tells you about your weight, huh? She's
well, no, it's okay. It's like this though. Like if Tom Brady's yelling at you about football, like okay, I'll listen. But if Lizzo's yelling at you about weight, it's like.
So if talking about canceling, bro, Yaritza and su esencia. So check it out. There's a group of kids. They're from Washington. They're born and raised here in the U.S. in fucking Washington, right? Well, I want to say in Washington. They're born and raised in Washington, right? But they sing like Mexican music. So there's a lot of people like that. A lot of young guys out there that are really big. They have Danny Lux, like Forza Requiem. A lot of those guys are born here, right? And they sing Mexican, like Mexican music, Mexican original music, right? Like corridos, Mexican music, etc. Well. Here's the crazy thing, right? All those people that I just named, they embrace the Mexican culture, right? Like they know what's up, like they give back to Mexico, etc. But this Yaritza and her group, they go to Mexico, right, for this interview because obviously they're singing in Spanish, so they're gonna be bigger in Mexico than they're gonna be here, right? They have a big audience here, but obviously Mexico is a big audience. So they go to Mexico, they're like doing whatever, right? And they're getting asked these questions about like Mexico, and they're just like straight up like kind of shitting on Mexico. They're like dissing Mexico, like, nah, I don't really like it, whatever.
What?
Weird, right? And then they go out to eat in the street. And in Mexico, like if you've ever been there, like when you go to the fucking taco truck, you get your soda in like a little baggie. So they just pour your soda in like a plastic bag. They shove a straw in it.
Bro, I love that, bro.
So it's cool, dude. I think it makes it taste better. Whatever. So the people there, it's like a TikTok, right? Like a video, and they're like making like this ugly ass faces, and. So obviously, like one thing about Mexico, which everybody in like the Spanish speaking world knows, is like, and a lot of artists have been through this. Is like if they shit on Mexico, like, dude, Mexico cancels you, and that's it, dude, because they're one of the biggest markets for Spanish music, right? So sure enough, dude, like these people were talking bad about Mexico, bad about the culture, and when they were in the middle of like experiencing what Mexico is, getting tacos with the freaking soda in the bag and a straw through the bag, dude, they're making these ugly faces. So like everybody dragging them through the mud, bro. Like Mexico literally canceled these kids.
How old
as
are
they should. They're young, bro. I don't even think they're in their 20s. I think probably like 19, 20.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
It's like a small group. It's like a young group, right? And it was so crazy because one of the questions that they got asked in the interview, they were like, how do you like the food in Mexico? No, I think Washington is better. Bro,
no way.
You're Mexican, and you're saying that the food in Mexico is worse than what you have in Washington, my guy. Not even California, Washington.
Not even. Hey, that's true,
bro.
California Mexican food, though.
So I was just like, bro, that's so crazy. I seen that. Honestly, bro, I was in disbelief because if you're like a Mexican regional music group and you sing about the culture, but you don't embrace the culture, you actually like you shit on it, bro. It's just like what?
Most counterproductive thing. Bro, it's like blowing. No. It's like being like a football player, but like I don't really like football.
Exactly.
It's whatever. I don't really like it or the fans.
Dumb, bro. So, dude, they got like talk about getting canceled, bro.
Their older brothers right now, they rejected his DACA, so he can't come back to the U.S.
Oh, damn.
That's
so Mondo just said might be Karma. So Mondo was saying that the older brother were in Mexico, but his DACA got rejected. Hey, I don't even get DACA, bro. So, but I'm here. I'm at least over here, bro. I don't know how you're gonna get over here. But he's now stuck in Mexico because his DACA got rejected. So that's crazy, bro. That's karma. Man, I love to see it though. I love to see those people go down, bro. You can't talk bad on the motherland,
the Mexican
bro.
culture is just coming up so much. There's so many good things about Mexican culture. There's so many beautiful things about it, and to hate on it like that, I mean, especially the food. The food is one of the biggest things in Mexican culture, and you're gonna hate on the food.
You better get used to it now, bro. He's a citizen.
How are you gonna say that Washington is better than Mexican food in Washington is better than Mexican food? Bro.
And I can speak on that. I lived in Washington for about 2 years. I lived in Washington. I can honestly tell you there was one Mexican place out of the entire state of Washington. Of course, I didn't travel the whole, but one Mexican place in the entire state of Washington called Tacos Chuquis. That was one of the best places. Aside from that, every other place, I said, hey, can I get carne asada or a pastor or whatever it is, right? They're like, oh, you mean steak? No, I mean, like,
oh damn.
I'm like, I'm out of here, bro.
He's up there, bro. Yeah.
As soon as they said
he was in Seattle, bro.
I'm out.
He stayed in Seattle for a while, so he has experience, bro. And,
yeah.
We went over there. Same thing, dude. I mean, we went to Taco Chuquis Fire, certified by a Mexican.
But you come near to California, and it's like every single corner you go, there's a taco truck, and I promise you, for the most part, you're not gonna miss.
That's talking about the drink
very
in
few.
The bag, bro. Tacos San Marcos. Bro, there's some frescas in there. Ooh,
hey,
fire.
Tacos San Marcos, bro. They have this horchata. I'm getting off topic here, but they have this horchata. They have this mazapan horchata, bro.
No, you're capping.
I'm gonna tell you what, bro. That thing, man, it's
mazapan is just
it'll do something to your soul, bro.
Bro, their birria there is so good.
Yeah, the birria is pretty fire.
Oh my god,
pretty fire.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you're talking about California, man,
end of story.
All right,
end of story. Taco Mexican culture. 10 out of 10. You can't diss it. If you diss it,
you're gonna feel the consequences.
You're gonna feel the consequences.
You're gonna get canceled harder than Lizzo. It is what it is.
Yeah. So in closing up, man, we talked about a lot of good stuff today. Appreciate you guys always tuning in every single week. Obviously, every single week we're gonna start dropping these as well. Obviously, we like to try to have aces of every single industry. We like to have the aces of guests, but we want to switch it up. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. A lot of crazy stuff we like to talk about. We like to inform you guys as well. So every single week, we're gonna try to bring these back to you every single week, talking about trending topics. New stuff every single week, man. But before we go, a big shout out again, once final, man, to the homie Cody Gibson, to the man Cody Gibson, man. Shout out to him. The crazy thing is, if you guys didn't see the Ultimate Fighter yet, by the time we drop this, you're already gonna have seen the Ultimate Fighter. Mm-hmm. But he talked about fighting smaller promotions for 8 years. 8 years grinding, constant grinding, didn't know if he was going to give up. He actually retired at one point, went all the way. He actually went in the Ultimate Fighter with a busted knee, wasn't 100%. And to go through all that stuff, and then still make it to the end, to the finale this upcoming weekend in Boston. I mean, the ultimate comeback story, the ultimate underdog story, man. We're rooting for you here at the Always Set. And any last words you guys have to say?
Man, I'm rooting for him this weekend on the card. So it's going to be a lot of fun, dude. Shout out to boy Cody. Like Anthony said, bro, a true testament to, like, the grittiness of the Valley, you know? So shout out to the boy, baby.
If you haven't got his merch, man, merch is – I can't speak enough on this merch, too. Merch is fire, good quality. I mean –
Look, and if you haven't subscribed to the All Aces podcast, baby, do so, because we're going to bring you local legends and a lot of other people who are doing it at a high level here in the world. So click the button below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one, baby.
Peace.